Stand by. The program will begin soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Holy hell! Talk about late. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to Dawg Knight Channel, where I just got home. I literally just threw this all together. I don't even know if I did everything right. Hopefully I didn't miss anything because I was in a rush to even get this on the air. Terrible, terrible morning at the old Ups place of a thingy. So yeah, here I am, the one that you love, asking for forgiveness, not even permission. And hopefully we can lighten this up there. There we go. I wish this setting would stay, but it won't. How y'all doing? It's Monday, the 11th of November, 2025. It is Veterans Day and Armistice Day, which is the, I believe, the end of World War I. Do I have the holiday calendar up? I don't. See, I told you I didn't have everything up here. And there's news. There's definitely some news out there. Did I put this out here? Yes, I did. All right, this should be notifications. Let's say hi to everybody and get it going because I'm just freaking late. First in the chat today is midnight. Yeah. Who gets the bell? Good for you. Well done, young lady. Also, good morning, Miss Wild Wolf and Avocado Stably is in the house. Also, good morning, Blue Eyed Scream, Green Badger Outdoors, Kara Soldier, Resolute Germ, Attack Alpaca, Puffer. Is that Puffer's spot? See, oh, Paul Farrell. I'm like, I thought it was Puffer's spot. No, it's Paul Farrell. Welcome back, Paul. Nice to see you. Also, who else is here? Jay Blizzard, JB's in the house. Tyre, the Pope, Alexander, the Blessed Lich. With today's message of hope from not the Father, not the Son, but from the Holy Ghost. Hope Tyre says, blessing of the divine dead, I am going to keep it simple today. A song in your heart and a smile on your face, kind words out of your mouth, honest thoughts in your head. A simple recipe for a good life. That's a fantastic message. Thank you, Pope Tyre. Appreciate it. Also, good morning, Reaction Puerto Rico. You lovely island of tropical breezes. Hello, am I mocking AnTiFa here? Yes, mocking? I'm mocking all the people who pretend they don't know what it is. There's a lot of people, we'll get to that. Hello, no name for you, X5. Unfortunately, I'm not getting your names that you put as your name. I'm getting your name, so if it's something else, I'll figure it out eventually. But I am got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, and in so little time, so we'll try to get it done as fast. Hey, we got our first donation of the day from JB. Thank you, sir. Dropping $5 Canadian because it's Canadian. Who says Japanese actor Tatsuya Nakadai passed away at 92. Some of his best known works were Yohimbo, Ran, Kajamusha, The Human Condition, and his favorite Hakiri. Oh, now this is interesting. Someone named the Powder Dusty just subscribed. Now, I'm not sure. Is that you? No name for you? Or is that somebody else? Because it came up as a name, but it did, instead of the but the other donation on YouTube says ats. I gotcha. Are you my name changes from time to time? Nope, that's not you. Okay, well, then someone else also came on and whatever. Anyway, thank you, Powder Dusty, and welcome, by the way, no name for you. Appreciate y'all being here. And Jay Blizza, you are the first sponsor of the day. Greatly appreciated. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do it YouTube Super Chats, or Johnny Boomer Tech will leave little links in the chat where you can do the, well, here, I'm going to get rid of the, let's get rid of the pinned comment here. We'll pin the, Has Johnny put it up yet? I don't think he has. Okay, he has it. Well, when he puts it up, I'll pin the PDawgKnight.live link to donate via Streamlabs, which is a much better way to do it because, you know, you're not giving this much money to YouTube. And that's a good thing every day. So anyway, AD, he cannot even pronounce the English ones, JB. AD, I can pronounce English names because I've lived with English names all my life. Did I pronounce those wrong? How many of those did I just jack up? Sorry about the names, P-Dawg. They are very Japanese. No, that's okay. I mean, look, I can pronounce most the English translations of Japanese names, but Tatusia Nakadai, is that right? Is that his name? Anyway, a prolific Japanese actor. So there you go. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so Yajimbo. Where's Yajimbo? Oh, Yojimbo. Oh, it is Oh, that's right. There's J's. See, I forget. So I've been learning Spanish, and anytime I see a J, I got a habit of doing that himbo, but it's Yajimbo, which because Japanese does have the J sound. Okay. Oh, I got you. All right. Let's thank the people who shared the stream already, and I'll do it quickly because I'm really behind schedule today, and I'm going to probably go over like I usually do anyway, but not that much over. Holy shite. Again, I got home so late this morning. It was like it honestly takes me about 20 minutes to put every show together because I don't do it in advance. I have to get the stuff from today and talk about shit from today. And so you got to at least have 20 minutes to find out what's happening today. And then also it takes me, 10 minutes just to put it all together. I got to make a thumbnail and all this stuff. I do it all in the morning when I get here. So it takes me a while. Hello, Doberman Campante. So anyway, fascism, nice. You don't even know it. I bet you can't even define fascism, bitch. I'm sorry. By the way, welcome. I'm a little snarky at times. So if I say shit to you that's snarky, I'm sure you can handle it because you are a very special person. I can guarantee it. So anyway, all right, let's get into the stuff that people who shared the stream greatly appreciate. Ms. Wild Wolf, of course. Posted the stream, and I appreciate that. And did a happy Veterans Day, Mr. Reaction on Puerto Rico. By the way, happy Veterans Day to anyone who has served or has even thought about serving, because whatever. So, what else? Let's go from Ms. Wild Wolf. I got that. I got the Daily Samurai. Is this is him? Is this Todd? Oh, I know that actor. Is that him? Okay, yeah. Rest in peace. I because I don't know the names of the movies you put up there, but I recognize some of them. Is that him? I know him. That dude. Oh, yeah. He's been in a ton of movies. Hello, by the way, Special Can Acid on my list of favorite Canadians still here. And let's see. What else? And that's all the new people. Welcome, all of yous. And then we got the cute kids doing that 70s shit. Let's Go from Ms. Wild Wolf. We got, our Daily Wrestler. What's his name? Why do I not know his name? I'm blanking out. Which wrestler is this? Hello, Selected Boy. Good morning.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you, CM Punk. Why do I not know CM Punk? He's like, he's famous and shit. Like some of them are obscure because I don't watch wrestling anymore. I know all the old school wrestlers. I could go back all the way back to Vern Gagne and Gorgeous George. Even though Gorgeous George was just on like black and white reruns of wrestling, I'm trying to think. The first wrestlers that I ever watched were in the AWA, like Junkyard Dog, the High Flyers. Vern Gagne was still champion when I was a kid, and I don't know. I couldn't even believe Vern Gagne was a champion. And by the way, Minnesota is kind of a mecca of wrestling lore. By the way. Mean Gene Okerlund, I used to run into him in the bars when I first moved here in the late 80s. Like I moved here in 89. Gene Okerlund still hung out in the bars in downtown Minneapolis. Would run into Hawk and Animal all the time, the Road Warriors. I mean, a bunch of those wrestlers lived up here. Kurt Hennig was still in the Twin Cities then. I mean, there's a lot. Mr. Perfect, for those of you who don't know who Kurt Hennig is. And Larry Hennig, his dad, whatever. All those guys were based in Minnesota. So anyway, all right. What else? Who else? Thank you, Ty Alexander, Resolute Germ, JB, Ms. Wild Wolf, and Reaccion Puerto Rico for retweeting the stream. And then our daily Ric Flair from Ty Alexander. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone retweeting the show. Oh, and also another happy. Oops, what did I do there? The hell did I do? Click the right button there, P-Dawg. Marty. I'm Marty, by the way, also known as PDawgKnight. And another happy Veterans Day from Green Badger Outdoors. My dad was. Oh, and this, by the way, did I talk about the Minnesota Lake thing yesterday? I don't remember I talked about it. Maybe I just posted that yesterday. I've never gotten more reaction from a tweet or a post of whatever they call. What do they call them on X now? Just a post? I thought it was cool when they called them tweets, but anyway, I've never got more reaction from a tweet than the one I did yesterday. I made a joke about Wisconsinites and their lakes, because Wisconsin, there's a lot of people in Wisconsin who like to believe that they have more lakes than Minnesota. And anytime you talk about lakes in Minnesota, inevitably someone from Wisconsin posts this, well, we have more lakes than Minnesota. You guys call lakes a puddle. You guys will classify any puddle as a lake. And I found it hilarious. So did I show this? Did I do this yesterday? Did I do this bit? So yesterday, this lady posted this video, and she says, "What would you call this? What would you call this little body of water here?" Right? Wisconsin does have Devil's Lake. I love Devil's Lake. That's a beautiful freaking lake. Anyway, what would you call this this body of water on this picture? And that's pretty much all of it as she scrolls through it. I think she shows the whole thing. What would you call this body of water?
This body of water.
Okay.
Apparently, depending on what part of the area.
Oh, I did. Okay, so yeah, so that's a pond. Okay, we would call it a pond in Minnesota. Well, but I posted as an answer, Minnesota here, that's barely a pond, but Wisconsin would count it as a lake. And that's because the Wisconsinites like to say, oh, we have more lakes, because their DNR classifies like 15,000 bodies of water as lakes in Wisconsin, whereas our DNR classifies about 11,800 bodies of water as lakes. So they like to say they have more lakes, but the problem is, in Wisconsin, they count a 1 hectare surface area body of water as a lake, 2.2 acres. In Minnesota, our DNR counts it if it's 10 acres of surface area. And if we had counted the same way Wisconsin did, they would count 21, just over almost 22,000 bodies of water as a lake. But we don't do that, because 2.2 acres in Minnesota is basically a pond, even though it's bigger than, most bodies of waters in other states. So anyway, I had over 1,200 likes on that post, joking about how Wisconsin would count as a lake. So, you don't want to hear me talk about AnTiFa? Hello, Donkey Punch Bandit. That's the greatest name on the internet. If you don't want to talk about, I'm going to talk about AnTiFa there, Doberman Compan, whatever that name is there. I'm getting to it. So anyway, and it's kind of a jabbing thing back and forth between Minnesotans and Wisconsinites. But the facts are we have more lakes, but we're not the state with the most lakes. And I'll admit that freely. Alaska has over 1 million lakes. Florida, depending on what bodies of water you count, has about 30,000 lakes. We're number 3, even though we're number 2 on the official counts. So whatever. But we are the land of 10,000 lakes, and we have the boundary waters, and we have, we have some shore of Lake Superior. We have some, even though Wisconsin has shores of Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. By the way, the Superior Southern Shore is gorgeous all the way through, from Duluth all the way to Pictured Rock. Anywhere you go along the southern shore of Lake Superior or the northern shore of Lake Superior, it's a beautiful lake. So anyway, that's some little lake envy from the, what do you call it? The, what are the Wisconsinites, the Scotties, the cheeseheads, the Badger people. And I freely admit our football team sucks, and they've had at least some championships, and so whatever. All right, let's get on to the show, which, oh my God, I'm not going to have much time for this show. All right, the main topics today, the important topics, certainly the ones that I'm not talking about right now. Oh, what'd I do there? Anyway, it's Veterans Day. And so we salute to all the veterans. A lot of people are putting their salutes out. Now, I'm going to give Barack Obama some credit. Barack Obama, today, there was a group of veterans coming into Washington, D.C., and Barack Obama went and met the plane. And I thought, that's cool. You know what? I'm going to give him credit. A former president of the United States come out and greeting some veterans on the plane who came on, what do they call, I don't remember what they call those flights. But yeah, good for him. I'm no shade whatsoever. None, zero, none at all. Hello, Danny281. If a future moment of fascism will return, it will not be so stupid as to say I am fascism. It will say I am anti-fascism. Stone 1945. Just want to say this is AnTiFa. Yes. Hello, by the way, Danny. Welcome to the show. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're here because you're new, and I like it when new people show up here. Anyway, happy Veterans Day to anyone who's served. And there's people throwing shade at Donald Trump and this and that. You know what? Hey, guess what? If you're going to talk about Veterans Day, how about just talk about the veterans and not, I'm not going to throw shade at Barack Obama. I'm not going to show Joe Biden. I'm not going to throw shade at Donald Trump. It's not about them. Today is not about them. Not a chartered flight. There's a, what do they call, when they have, usually it's when they have like World War II veterans or old veterans that they fly into someplace. There's a name for those flights. I can't remember. So anyway, happy Veterans Day to our veterans. And also trending because of that, United States Armed Forces, and also it's Armistice Day, which is the November 11th, 1918. The armistice ending World War I is signed at the 11th hour and the 11th day of the 11th month. And so in 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaims the first Armistice Day, a national observance to honor the soldiers of World War I. In 1938, U.S. Congress passes a bill making November 11th a legal federal holiday dedicated to world peace and honoring World War I veterans. In 1954, at the urging of veteran service organizations, the holiday is renamed Veterans Day. So it's the old, it used to be called Armistice Day because it's commemorating World War I, and they changed it to Veterans Day in 1954. In 1968, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act moves observance of Veterans Day to the fourth Monday in October to create a 3-day weekend. But in 1975, President Gerald Ford signs the law moving the day of observance back to the original date of November 11th, effective 1978. So, and usually on Veterans Day in Washington, D.C., at 11 a.m., they do a special ceremony, which is probably just happening right now, but I'm not going to go to it live. So there you go. Other holidays we can say hi to. It is National Sunday Day. Now, well, not Sunday like yesterday or 2 days ago Sunday, but the Sunday, like eating a good like Sunday with some ice cream and whatever. It's the sweetest day of the year, National Sunday Day. Also Veterans Day, National Origami Day. Start folding some paper, people. Excuse me. National Metal Day. Like metal rock and roll. Oh yeah, it is Metal Day. Like metal, heavy metal, music metal. National Chase Day if your name's Chase. Yeah, whatever that means. And it's also Timothy Day. So if your name is Chase or Timothy, it's your day, whatever. Anti-Bullying Week, National Indiana Day. Don't care. Singles Day. Singles. All the single ladies. And Isabel and Pocky Day. Whatever. This is stupid. I don't even know why I do the holiday calendar anymore. All right, let's go. And then again, there's also trending Obama surprising the Vietnam veterans, Korea and Vietnam War veterans. My father, by the way, was a field medic in Korea in the Korean War. And he never really talked much about it, but he had some pictures of him and some of his soldier mates. And So even though my dad did not perish in the war, he was a veteran, and it's Veterans Day. This is not, by the way, this is not Memorial Day. This is Veterans Day. So there will be actually veterans there at the ceremonies. But yeah, so Barack Obama meeting the plane of veterans was a big thing on X today. And again, that's what former presidents should be doing. I'm more than happy that he did that. All right, let's get some newsy stuff out here. A Utah judge, Diana Gibson, rejects the GOP map, adopts a Democratic district for 2026. This is interesting. I don't know that why a judge can do this, but anyway, 3rd District Judge Diana Gibson ruled on November 10th that a Republican legislature congressional map C violated the Utah's provision 4 by favoring one party and unnecessarily splitting Salt Lake County. She selected the plaintiff's map 1, which creates a solidly Democratic 1st district while keeping the other 3 Republican leaning, enforcing the 2018 voter-approved ban on partisan gerrymandering. Republicans have threatened impeachment and plan an appeal to the Utah Supreme Court while Democrats celebrate the gain in the Republican-dominated states. Here's my thoughts on this. I don't think any state should be able to do any form of political gerrymandering or racial gerrymandering or any form whatsoever. And I'm including those states that had, back in the day. Well, I understand the judges doing that back in the South, way back when, but I think it's completely unnecessary now. And it's bullshit. It shouldn't happen. And I know California passed that Prop 50, which they're going to try to gerrymander, and Illinois is crazily gerrymandered. Maryland, all these states that they complain, oh, Texas is going to gerrymander their state. Well, they're not really. Texas is just turning the districts to make them sane. I don't think they're splitting up cities to make new districts, but apparently in Utah, this judge has decided that she's going to do that. Look, I personally, if every state this was applied to, I'd be more than happy with that, because they'd have to really redo Illinois, they'd have to redo Maryland, they have to redo Massachusetts. Oregon is so bad. They literally have Portland split up into the other districts so that they can force it to be a Democrat-run state. And those the eastern counties in Oregon have all approved. I don't know if it's legislation. They've all voted to leave the state of Oregon and become a part of Idaho. That's something we got to watch too. So, all right. So anyway, that's in the news. Also, E.G. and Carol, Donald Trump is appealing his civil lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court. And I'm going to tell you what, all these people who claim they want a due process but support the case that E.G. Carroll did in New York on Donald Trump, they're all full of shit. That, regardless of what you think of what the outcome of that trial should have been, that action, the fact that the state of New York changed the laws for 1 year so one person could bring one suit is completely unconstitutional. And so if it gets overturned because of that, it's their own fucking fault. First of all, and I always also laugh when people say Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist, whatever. No, he's not, because he's never been charged for that. Someone won a civil suit for libel. You can't be. It wasn't even what he was. There was no charge. This was a civil suit. So anyway, Gary, who's Gary and why is he mandering? Gary or Jerry? It's Jerry, not Gary. Come on, man. Gary mandering. Who said Gary mandering? If your name is Chase, Consolis. Oh shit, I know a kid named Chase. He's a good kid too. Hell of a basketball player too. Anyway, so Trump is appealing this decision to the Supreme Court. And by the way, E. Jean Carroll is a liar. She's an absolute liar. If you go back and read the article that she wrote in, well, what magazine was it? Was it? It wasn't Esquire. It was what the fuck? I can't even remember the magazine. But if you go back and find the article and read it carefully, and use a little bit of logic, and think about the physiology of human beings, what she said was complete bullshit, and physically impossible, by the way. Does anyone remember what magazine that was in? That interview with Anderson Vanderbilt. So, yeah, speaking of here's the interview with Anderson Cooper, where she, for some reason, made a damn fool of herself. Here's her talking to Anderson Cooper.
It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
What?
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more.
Every time hearing Anderson, he chokes on himself saying that.
On the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being
watch
sexy.
Anderson.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
Oh, and then she's like, "You're fascinating to talk to." Well, he's gay, Eugene. But yeah. By the way, the dress that she said that she had on wasn't even made yet by the time before it wasn't even made yet. They didn't produce this dress, and she said, "Oh, this is the dress she wore." No, because there's a date on some clothing lines, and that has a date, and it was after it supposedly happened. So anyway, that's coming up, and then let's talk about AnTiFa. And I'm just going to scroll down this because this is what I really wanted to talk about today. So if I don't get to other stuff, it's okay. I don't have any articles open anyway. So, I do have a couple articles open, but not too many. I'm leaving room for Gunfox to come in and hijack the show. Let's talk about AnTiFa, because every time this comes up on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, I laugh at some of the people who pretend they have no idea what AnTiFa is. Okay? Now, they always fall back on the phrase, AnTiFa means anti-fascist. Really? Well, then North Korea must be democratic then, because it's the Democratic Republic of North Korea. I guess North Korea is democratic, right? And here's an example, just right off the first post right here. Your daily reminder that in America, AnTiFa is every American who supports and defends for everyone the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and who therefore necessarily stands against fascist Trump and his fascist regime. Well, first of all, the idea that the fascist regime is a fascist regime is debatable, certainly. Because it's amazing how they got elected. They follow the rules of the courts. They don't make the rules of the courts. And if you say they don't, you're full of shit. Okay, they do. They're following the rules as set by the United States. Now, granted, they sometimes do things and ask forgiveness rather than permission, and the courts dial it back and whatever. But it's not it's certainly not a fascist regime as far as government coordinating with business. In fact, it seems like the Democrats would be more fascist if you think about what happened during COVID. Okay, the definition of fascist as defined by Mussolini. But then they put this: I am AnTiFa. AnTiFa is short for anti-fascism. Again, the Democratic Republic of North Korea is neither Democratic nor Republic. But hey, you know, words sometimes don't mean shit if you're trying to make, you know, trying to get people to think you're stupid. Hello, Irene Loudermilk. How you doing? Welcome. There's some new faces here. I think it might be because of the title. Do I need to have inflammatory titles to get people to come here? I don't know. So anyway, they say AnTiFa has been declared a terrorist organization, but AnTiFa is an organization. Except in Portland, there are actually, even though it's not a tight-knit organization, it is organized in certain places. You know what? Is the Ku Klux Klan an organization anymore? Because they'll be worried about the Klan a lot. And I would say they're a terrorist organization. Because they have kind of a uniform, they kind of do some shit, they do commit violence. Isn't that what the AnTiFa groups, like the Rose City AnTiFa, now that is absolutely an organization. They even meet, they have meetings. It's about refusing to stand by while fascism and hate gain ground. To say I am AnTiFa is to affirm that you are pro-humanity, pro-freedom, and pro-justice. I am AnTiFa. Shouldn't you be too? Look, in the theoretical, yes, we should be AnTiFa, and we probably all are AnTiFa in the theoretical. But in the practical and the reality-based world, there are groups called AnTiFa that wreak havoc. And here's why they're trending today, because I'm going to scroll down now and show you why they're trending. I guess happiness. This is a happiness brick. Yes. Hello, Darren Root. What's up? Nice to see you. And Puffer Smiles. I was channeling you earlier when I saw, who did I see that I thought was Puffer Smiles? So anyway, so there was a TPUSA event. This was yesterday at the University of California, Berkeley. And Berkeley has a rather large AnTiFa, or they like to think they're AnTiFa, presence. And what they did, here's what they did. I'll scroll down a little farther. Here's what AnTiFa was doing, trying to prevent a TPUSA chapter from holding their free speech events at the University of California, Berkeley. And they were out there throwing, fireworks and smoke bombs and trying to intimidate people not to go to that event. Now, who in this group is using fascist tactics? I mean, these are the little brown shirts. I mean, they're the equivalent of it, aren't they? Isn't AnTiFa the equivalent of brown shirts? What'd he say? Something, any what? Anytime, any place, punch a fascist in the face. So advocating violence against people who come to listen to someone talk. That's what they're doing. Now. I don't know what that has to do with anything. And they wear masks and they're whatever. Let's see. AnTiFa shouting, "Fuck your dead homie" at TPUS event at UC Berkeley to mock Charlie Kirk's assassination. Here's one of these fucktards. So, Revolutionary Student Organization with the mask and whatever. So that's why they're trending. Someone here says, Charlie Kirk supporter gets dropped by AnTiFa during TPUSA event. Wait a minute. What is AnTiFa? I thought it wasn't. What is AnTiFa? Oh. I mean, if Antifa doesn't exist, if it's just an idea, how do you get dropped by it? I thought was just an idea. How can you get dropped by something that's just an idea? Oh, TC's in the house. What up, TC? Moist, aka Moist Tree Rat. That word moist again. Anyway, so I'm scrolling down here. Does law enforcement know that Antifa is now considered a terrorist organization? Round these people up. So this is at the protest. Again, is this how aNtI-FaScIsT operates? It seems like they're the brown shirts for the left. I mean, if you need police protection from just people just being against fascism, I'm kind of concerned about what what are you concerned about? So let's see. Is there more in this? I think these are the TPUSA people taking video of it. Anyway, now you really can't make this up. Oh, this is amazing too. Officer Yognanda Pittman helped with all aspects of the January 6th operation. She gets a high-paying chief of police job as a reward. Where? Of course, UC Berkeley, where Antifa is allowed to riot and terrorize Turning Point USA event. Always the same people. Yeah. And General Flynn says, I remain anti-Antifa. I don't know if that's at the TPUSA event. Here's Savannah Hernandez. This is just, I'm only doing this for research purposes and for the viewing pleasure of Avocatus Diabli, because she's a nice looking young lady.
This is Savannah Hernandez at UC Berkeley at the TPUSA Out of the Bay protest. Now, it is about 7 p.m. at this point, but this has been going on since 4:30, and my friends, it has been absolute chaos. Now, at the beginning of the night, you quickly had 2 people that were arrested. One person was a Trump supporter, another
I'm going to talk about that, AD.
And as the Trump supporter was getting arrested, he stated that the Antifa member came and tried to steal his stuff, resulting in the altercation. Now, that happened fairly quickly at the beginning of the protest, and everything just evolved since then. Now, this is actually the entrance to the...
It's funny that they arrested him too, probably for getting attacked.
The TPUSA event tonight, and the attendee line actually stretched out this way, and it kind of stretched into this area so people could get into this conference center behind me. Now, what ended up happening is this huge swarm of protesters, many of which are trans members, some of them are furries, and of course, many Antifa members and Antifa-aligned groups, they all ended up swarming those attendees. Now, one of the Antifa members actually lit off a flare, smoke started going everywhere, and then another protester drove past in his vehicle. It started backfiring multiple times. It kind of sounded like gunshots. I could see the visible fear in many of the attendees' eyes, and they all started swarming into this area. Now, please quickly let them pass these barriers to, essentially protect them and help with their safety, because
over a speaking event, they think they're actually helping somebody here. They think they're actually doing something positive. All this because they had a speaking event at Cal Berkeley.
Then quickly started descending on these barriers. Now, they have multiple times tried to break this area down and break these barriers down, and they have been chanting all night, calling attendees of this event fascists, Nazis, anti-Semites. They've been calling them every single name.
And the anti-Semite one is just the most ironic. Because I guarantee you, all these, if you saw the kafiyas and whatever in this crowd, it was like, there was like, there's one video that you can see the kafiyas everywhere, the little, it's funny that's, by the way, that kafiya that the pro-Palestine people and Yasser Arafat started wearing, that's not even Palestinian. There's nothing Palestinian about that kafiya. That is actually it was the Iranian fishermen who used to wear those, and the symbolism on it is because there's it's like this netting that the Iranian fishermen used, and that was the design in those white things with the the black lines and stuff through them. They're not even native to Palestine, what they like to call Palestine. Okay, Syria, Palestine, whatever, that was occupied by the British and occupied by the Turks and occupied by the Romans, and it was never anything called the Palestine. In fact, well, I don't have to go into that story anymore. But anyway, it's kind of funny because the fact that they're calling them anti-Semites, but they're wearing keffiyehs and chanting "to the river, to the sea" at the next protest probably is a little ironic.
In the book, while simultaneously saying that Nazis need to be killed. Now, they have also been mocking the death of Charlie Kirk, and I have seen several signs tonight glorifying and celebrating Charlie's death. So that is the protest in attendance tonight. Those are the people inside. You even had people chanting.
See all the people wearing the keffiyehs?
Your homie is dead, referring to Charlie Kirk. So that's an idea of how chaotic it has been out here at UC Davis. The next challenge is going to be how attendees now leave this event, as this entrance is completely blocked with very aggressive protesters.
They need to bring a couple wrestling teams with them because wrestlers don't mess around. So anyway, but on the other hand, that event at Berkeley seemed to still get a very large crowd. Here's a video, I think, from Jack Posobiec. There's even a couple black people in there. I'm happy to see that. So anyway, they filled the auditorium. Now I'm curious. Let's see. Clay Cole says the protests continue long after tonight's TPUSA event in Berkeley. AnTiFa and keffiyeh-clad protesters blocked all 4 exits and yelled, "Fuck your dead homie. Do the world a favor and kill yourself. Your lives mean nothing to attendees." Here's some. But again, I'm sorry, but AnTiFa's just an idea. Just an idea. Oh, yay, got a furry in there. Let's see, that's that one. Who's peaceful and who's violent? So anyway, there, let's mute that. How do I mute this? I want to mute it. Mute. There's no mute button. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I don't want to keep hearing that. Oh, son of a bitch. Anyway, AnTiFa messes with an American patriot and finds out. That's an old video. That's from like 5 years ago. That's a long time ago. Anyway, so there you go. Busload. Oh, that's the ice facility. So anyway, they're still also AnTiFa still protesting at the ice facility, but they got cleared out for a while. I think they're back. Yeah, it is very old. That's from like 2016 or 2017. Where he knocks the guy out. All right, moving on. Made in China's trending now, which I'm confused. But there is one thing that was made in China that people are talking about, and that's a bridge. I don't know where this bridge is, but it's not very old. I think it had its dedication a year ago. Well, apparently it collapsed. You don't catch the whole thing, but here it is collapsing. All right, I don't know what that music is, but that's probably going to be a problem for me. And a lot of people complaining about things made in China, but again, this bridge has been crazy. Also, apparently they're doing some robotics in China. This should be nervous. Here, let's mute that music. So that's a robot. Apparently, you build a robot. What's the purpose of the boobs on the robot, though? I'm just confused. Are they extra? And yeah. And they created a body for it? I don't know. So you can have sex with it. Oh, Lord. So I don't know. That's it for that. And I'm doing pretty good here. And, let's talk about the Olympics. And it's funny because I didn't see this trend at all yesterday, and I'm shocked that it didn't. Oh, what did you ask me if I saw? What it was? You asked me something earlier. Did I see? Where is it? I'm trying to scroll up the chat here. I can't find it. What did you ask me earlier, AD? Oh, about the pipe bomber. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that too. All right, we'll finish up with these two things. Look. Let's start with the pipe bomber first. I am extremely wary of talking about the pipe bomber. Now, we saw the thing with Glenn Beck where they said they did like gait as in walking analysis, and they think they have like a 95% match of this woman who used to be with the Capitol Police, and where is it? Hang on. Why is this? Oh, I want the feed. There we go. Where's she at? Hang on. Here it is. I'll pull up Robert Gouvea's Locals channel. So they have some analysts that were doing a walk analysis and say they have like a 95% match on this this woman who worked for the Capitol Police and now works for the CIA. And they sent the analysis to the FBI and whatnot. And the other day, her picture was all over the internet. All these right side of the aisle people were posting the picture saying, this is her, allegedly. In fact, the Blaze investigation links a former Capitol Police officer turned CIA agent to the alleged J6 pipe bomb. In fact, let's look that up on X because I'll give you an example. But I'm going to give you this caveat immediately right now. I am not posting the picture saying it's her. I'm posting these tweets because just showing you how many people jumped on this bandwagon. Okay. Tamir, I just hope and I let's see, where is this? People left and right putting this J6 pipe bomb suspect seen waving to Capitol Police while planting bombs. Alleged J6 pipe bomber. This person's name, I'm not gonna say her name, supposedly was a Capitol Police officer who allegedly received promotion to the CIA following January 6th. Video clip shows the suspect clearly waving at Capitol Police. Now, I haven't seen this. Is she waving at them? I don't see the wave. Hang on. Here, let's turn this stupid music off. Where's the mute? Oh, she waved at that car. Oh, here it is. Okay, interesting. So a lot of people have been posting her pictures saying, this is her, this is her, this is it, this is that, this is her. Here's what I say. Just like on January 6th, 2001, I said, maybe that's just not the right place to be on that particular day because something's going to go wrong and it's going to cause many people many problems. And I was right. And I wasn't the only one. There's lots of us who do what I do right now saying, I wouldn't be caught anywhere near there on that day just because they're going to find a way to, make something really bad happen. And boy, oh boy, did it happen. And same with all the people posting this lady's picture saying that she's definitely it. And here's an example why, and this is one of the left-wing people who said, here, Steve Baker. Steve Baker from the Blaze, after an abundance of counsel from trusted parties within and outside the government, we hit the pause button so those interested parties can have some more time to look at the J6 pipe bomber evidence. there are things they need to do internally. This is a real story. When it breaks, it's going to be a huge story. There are a lot of moving parts, but we need to give them time to do it, what they need to do. And I know everyone is waiting. Believe me, tensions are running high. There have been a lot of sleepless nights in the last 2 weeks, but this is a game changer, and we don't want to do anything to jeopardize that right now. To which Ron Filipowski, is one of the Midas Touch people, says, I just hope the former Capitol police officer who was accused in the story of being the J6 pipe bomber sues the Blaze and this writer. He got his 13 million viral views. Now it looks like maybe he's talked to a lawyer about it. Yeah, don't accuse people unless you know for sure. Let the courts do that shit. By the way, with the pipe bomber identified, let's revisit the Green Beret Master Sergeant Jeremy Brown story, because the planning of J6 began before Trump ever publicly announced the events. Jeremy was incarcerated for over 1,200 days. He has given his life to the service of this country and has been treated like an absolute crap. Okay, whatever. I mean, not whatever. I mean, it's awful, but not what I was talking about today. By the way, thank you, Avocado Stiabli. He says, interesting though, the FBI tracked the suspected pipe bomber to an address and had it under surveillance for a while till they were pulled from it. And that is right next to that woman's home, supposedly. Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, if they're right. Thank you, AD, for... Oh, by the way, and you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Drop that small bullet in the tip jar via Streamlabs. That's all Streamlabs donations are eligible for the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Anyway, people kept putting this lady's picture up, and I'm like, are you sure that's her? I'm not sure it's her. I mean, you don't know for sure. But if it's true... Yeah, that's a pretty big game changer, right? That's a pretty big game changer. Deep state cover-up exposed. FBI, CIA, and Capitol cops deep in the J6 bomb plot. Representative Massey just dropped the hammer. Sources say the FBI, CIA, and Capitol Hill's own cops are tangled up in the January 6th pipe bomb fiasco. The suspect, okay, we're not going to say her name. Footage shows her as the first to unleash less than lethal rounds into the crowd from the steps, sparking the whole defensive frenzy. She testified against J6 folks in court. This screams inside job and frames Patriot. Now, this is interesting because there's a couple states that have bills, not national, but states like New York and I think there's Nevada, excuse me. They have bills in their state houses right now that all school children in their state would be taught about January 6th, would put that in their curriculum. Now, I just wonder. I mean, I can't imagine that they would do it in any kind of biased manner. Now, would they? But remember when I said that the January 6th crowd was very overwhelmingly peaceful, except for the dickheads who are up by the Capitol that the Capitol Police just watched them break windows. But the ones that were down in the lower part, you know, they were all peaceful. They weren't, they weren't doing anything crazy. They were just chanting and talking to each other, milling around, until the Capitol Police started firing rubber bullets into the crowd and throwing flashbangs into the crowd. And that's when they kind of people got kind of riled up for that. And then people along one of the barricade lines, a couple of the Capitol Police officers started hitting them with their clubs, and then all hell broke loose. That's when the riot actually started. After they started firing rubber bullets into the crowd for no apparent reason, and the flashbangs, and of course the flashbang, of course, somebody was stationed at a perfect spot to get that one picture that they have that made all the papers, where it looked like there was a fire going on, and there's like and then they darkened it to make it look like that the people in the riot were trying to burn the place down, which obviously did not happen. But until those rubber bullets and flashbangs started going to the crowd, it was really peaceful. They weren't arguing. Some were maybe jawing at the police officers, but there was no physical contact. And there's what is it? There's one video there's one video that kind of goes through that timeline and shows how all of a sudden one of the, they threw some smoke bombs and flashbangs in the crowd, and the other officers saying, no, don't do that. And then someone throws more in, and that's when all hell breaks loose. But that's interesting. Footage shows her as the first woman to unleash less lethal rounds into the crowd from the steps, sparking a whole defensive frenzy. She even testified against J6 folks. It's been 3 days since the blaze blew this wide open, with 94 to 98% gate forensics matching her to the bomber. Well, guess what? Again, 94 to 98 is not 100. And that's why I had no interest in posting or reposting any of this shit. Even though they very well would be 100% right, but according to their own account, 94 to 98% matching. And then they said, then they had forensic experts look at it and said it was between 97 and 98. Okay, great. That should warrant an investigation. But let's not jump any guns and start posting her picture everywhere. Like, and also, by the way, remember the artist here? We know the pipe bomber. Now we know the pipe bomber. Let's find this fellow, the one J6 client that was partially identified by metrics of his earlobe. If 1% of the original resources were used, this guy would have been identified in the first month. I smell fed. Yeah, the guy who made the fake gallows that you couldn't hang a Smurf on because they were so short. Anyway, have I ever talked to or listened? Which Tim who? Tim who, Ms. Wild Wolf? I'm not sure. So anyway, is January 6th a holiday yet? If Democrats ever get control again, they'll try to make it one, which is crazy. A Memorial Day of January 6th. And they'll say because for the 5 police officers who died that day. Who didn't. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is the Olympics, which I thought would be just hottest topic of the day. Barely even got a blip on X. Apparently, the International Olympic Committee is about to ready to ban transgender athletes from women's sporting events. Breaking: the transgender athletes are to be banned from female competition at the Olympics following the review of evidence about the sporting advantages of being born male. The new policy may also bar female athletes with differences of sex development, as in male athletes who were misobserved as female. Hello, Anna Lynn, what's up? Nice to have you here. Right-wingers are not allowed to organize. No, they're not. This new policy may also bar female athletes with differences of sex development, possibly including boxers like Imane And then the full story in the Telegraph. I'll open it up here. Do I have more articles on this? Yes, I do. Here's one from, I don't know what this organization it is. Is this GB News? The IOC heard from experts about potential eligibility rules around transgender athletes competing in the Olympic Games. The move comes after a U-turn by new president Kirsty Coventry, who said the IOC should take the lead in setting eligibility criteria. Before Coventry made the call, individual federations were free to set up their own guidelines. So there are, and there's articles in Fox News, the New York Times, which is, the Athletic is the New York Times, all saying the IOC moving towards a ban on transgender athletes in women's Olympic events. So I wanted to scroll through and see, because I didn't see this. I mean, it was not I don't know if it was ever a trending topic yesterday. You would think this would be a huge topic, and I didn't see much of it. So Riley Gaines, male athletes are now banned from competing in women's category in the Olympics. Cool. Now strip these dudes of their gold medals and issue an apology to every woman who was cheated and brutally beaten. Okay, that's her interpretation. Which now there's proposed community notes. I'm sure the replies to Riley Gaines will be just calm and settling and thought-provoking and thoughtful. Funny thing, Riley, you'd be surprised at the folk who've hopped off Twitter for a bit after posting a series of messages about these two that weren't accurate. Doubtless you'll have the evidence to produce in court when their lawyers come for you. Well, they've already kind of figured it out with Imane. Just saying. She deserves another chance. Italian female boxer falls to her knees and cries after she abandons fight against Olympic opponent deeply deemed biologically male after just 42 seconds. My generation had Wonder Woman. Your generation has Wonder If It's a Woman. Okay, there you go. So a lot of people seem to be referencing the boxer. Where was the boxer from? Not Iran. Where's the? I can't remember where that boxer was from. I know one was from China. Let's see. I thought. Oh, and the ever-present "you came in 5th." Well, so what? What does that have to do with whether or not men should be competing in women's sports? These women have been waiting for their medals for years. Are these women who lost to the gal from South Africa, or the person from South Africa? If genitals do not define women, how does removing them affirm it? Ooh, that's a good point. Now this one's dumb though. Hang on a second. This one's dumb. Here's the problem with this one. This person, the wrestler here that looks like she's wrestling with this person is female. This is a transgender identifying woman, identifying as male, but has been on hormones for a period of time and still wrestling in the state of Texas because Texas requires people to compete in their sex, not their gender. And I say gender because gender is pretty much irrelevant. And then some smartass here, male athletes are now banned from competing in women's category in Olympics. Cool. Now strip this dude of his tied for 5th place medal and issue apology to every woman who was cheated and brutally beaten. I'm sorry. That's Riley Gaines, you dumbass. But they know that because now they're trying to say that Riley Gaines looked like she's transgender. Anyone think she does? Anyone think like Riley Gaines looks transgender? I don't know how. I thought there'd be a lot more whining and gnashing of teeth. But apparently no. So anyway, so there you go. I had, do I have any other articles open? I really don't. I have the aggregator open today. Again, I want to thank the veterans of this nation for generations who have protected us and kept us safe. And let's see. Here's a message of the aggregator. Good morning, kids. First of all, and most importantly, today is Veterans Day. And so for those of you who have worn the uniform and for those who continue to serve, my admiration for all of you is beyond measure. Thank you for your service, dedication, and sacrifices. God bless you all and keep you safe. So there you go. Tomorrow we'll probably get back into some of the shutdown stuff. I didn't see if the House has come back and passed the or if they've, well, I don't know, because they have to, there were a couple minor changes to that continuing resolution as far as the date and things. So now the House has to come back and pass the Senate rewrite of it. And so we'll see what happens there. I haven't heard if that's been done yet. Hopefully the Congress critters will come back for a short time, and then maybe they can go away for a while again and not pass any more shit. But they kind of have to pass a budget, so I understand that. But that's it for today, guys. Again, sorry I was so late today, but I can't help it. It's what my work does. Here, let me give you the links here, by the way. Get that out of the way. And that'll be it. Here are the links for today. Including the aggregator. There's a lot of good stuff in the aggregator. I just didn't have time to read any of it. So here are the links. Bam. There you go. That's it. Got to go. Thank you. My name's PDawgKnight. See you tomorrow. I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.